Hello and welcome back. This is the Loose Affiliation podcast. I'm Chris and this is Liam.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about aliens. No, last episode we did ghosts. So might as well get aliens out of the way as well. Get those two really important things. Yeah. Are they real type thing? So, that's the first question. Do they exist or not, Liam?
I think so. As again with the God, I think it's not something I've had like a personal experience with myself.
Yeah.
But just based on some of the things that I see and hear, I do think that they exist.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, whereas with ghosts, I think like could be in people's heads. With aliens, I think like the universe is so vast and full of possibility that there's got to be something else out there somewhere.
I think that's the thing. Statistically,
I mean, it doesn't have to be intelligent life form like us, not exactly, or something out of a film. But there's definitely got to be another planet out there with some sort of like primitive life form living on it, like animals or something running around. I mean, I still think it's like a bit of a fluke that we've evolved the way we have.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good chance there's some planet out there with like little alien monkeys running around, up to no good.
So you don't think it would be something like what we see off telly and they would look like us?
There's a chance that they'd be like, there's a chance they'd be at our level of intelligence, I'd say, or perhaps supersede it. But there's very little chance they'd look like us, because I was saying to you earlier, when you watch Star Trek and Star Wars, the aliens in that, like 99% of the time, the humanoid, they've got 2 arms, 2 legs, and the face just looks different.
Yeah.
That's it, and you can understand why they're different colour. You can understand why they've done that, because it's just easier. They can cast a human actor as an alien.
Yeah. Like
Chewbacca was just hairy.
Yeah.
Admiral Akbar was just a fish.
Like a goldfish one.
But yeah, he just had 2 arms and 2 legs. Like Ewoks, just little. What other aliens were there? Jawas, just little. That 9 Num guy that flies, playing with Lando Calrissian, he would eat 2 arms, 2 legs.
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian, 2 arms, 2 legs. The thing is, like, you got to bear in mind the characters in Star Wars, they're not human, are they?
No.
They are actually alien themselves.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way George Lucas explained it. I think he's trying to hint at that Star Wars took place millions of years ago.
Yeah.
And that humanity stems from the people in Star Wars.
Right. I didn't know that.
I think that's what he's hinting at, because they're not actually humans, because it took place many, many years before Earth.
Yeah.
Jedis. It's like the Jedis can be any race, can't they? Yoda, he's 2 arms, 2 legs. I'm struggling to think of an alien in Star Wars that didn't have 2 arms and 2 legs. I mean, the General Grievous with 4 arms and 2 legs. Yeah. And then like that thing in the trash compactor messed them up. That was like a octopus thing, really, weren't it?
I'm trying to think. There was something a while ago that I read that suggested that aliens from another planet might look like us, just based on how certain types of DNA evolve. Yeah. And some part of his argument was that if you look at the variations between species on Earth, even still there's some similarities. So we've all got eyes that work fairly similar.
Yeah.
And also, the structure of lungs, the structure of his organs, bones and things like that, having rib cages, having arms and things like that, all very similar.
Isn't that because we've all evolved from the same thing?
Well, this is the other argument. It's all with carbon-based life forms, and we've all evolved from like a small sort of I don't know how you describe it. Selection of like raw material,
small little knobhead.
Yeah.
Just creeping round. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
But then, like you're saying, if you can't even begin to imagine what kinds of materials would exist on another planet somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we might not
what
know
else that they will come from.
Yeah, we don't know all the elements that, and they might not be carbon based. There might be some other element that we don't know exists. Yeah.
So to that effect, the way they evolve would be completely different from the way the species on our planet evolve. It would be just completely different.
I'm trying to think of another stupid alien from a film that works a bit differently. I mean, there's some in Star Trek that float about and that aren't humanoid.
Yeah.
And one of them tried to rape the Enterprise in one of the episodes.
Was that?
And they were like, he's fucking raping us. We need to get this bastard out.
I just vaguely remember. Yeah, we were like sucking all the energy with some kind of space whale or something.
Yeah, and it was like a baby space whale.
Yeah, I remember this episode. Yeah.
Like, I need to sustain life off the Enterprise. I can't remember how they got it off, to be honest.
I do remember that episode because it was quite interesting.
Like Worf, he's got 2 arms, 2 legs. He's just got a fucking few lines in his head.
He's got a weird face.
Vulcans, they're exactly the same as us. They've just got different hair. Their ears are a bit pointy.
Pointed, yeah.
Just different haircuts. That's all Vulcans are.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's just lack of imagination or what's actually going to happen.
Oh, maybe like from a storytelling point of view, you'll probably be able to elaborate on this, but just because you're telling a story for humans, and perhaps the humans have got to be able to relate to the characters, these alien characters, if they look similar to them. Perhaps.
Yeah, it wouldn't be interesting if they were a blob and just going about doing that.
Just bobbing around.
I just remembered something then, like, in the original Star Trek with Kirk, the Klingons look really similar to the Vulcans because they didn't have, like, the special effects technology to be able to put ridges on the foreheads. So they just look like humans with, like, different eyebrows and beards and that.
Yeah.
But then in the Next Generation, they upped the ante and they gave them foreheads that look immense. And the only reference I think that's in Star Trek to the Klingons looking different is in Deep Space Nine when Cisco and Worf's there. Worf's on Deep Space. Worf got everywhere, didn't he?
I think he did actually. Yeah.
He was really
convinced. That Irish guy.
O'Reilly or something.
Yeah. O'Brien, he won something.
Yeah, he got in between them as well. It was really convenient with Worf though. It's like, well, we're not filming Enterprise anymore. I'm going to go and join Deep Space Nine, and then Enterprise. We're not filming Generations anymore. I'm going to go film Deep Space Nine, and then films come along, and Worf's like, I just happened to be here in this battle. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah.
He got best deal out of it. He were everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't work his way up the chain a bit quicker. But what was it? Oh yeah, there's a Deep Space Nine episode where Cisco and that they go back in time and they end up serving on the original Enterprise with Kirk. And in that episode, Cisco sees an original Klingon. And it's got the flat forehead.
Yeah.
And he says to Worf, or someone says to Worf, why don't you look like that? And he goes, we don't like to talk about it. And that's it. No, you just explain away like that.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. They should.
They've hypothesised that Q maybe played a prank on them.
Yeah.
I'm sick of Klingons, I'm going to fuck their faces up.
Yeah. Sounds like they just sort of like,
dick.
Retrospectively sort of just like...
They should have just ignored it.
Yeah, they should have just ignored it and just sort of like explained it away like outside the film. It's being like a really simple explanation rather than just have some...
They evolved.
Yeah.
They might have said that. That sounds familiar, but if it were me, I'd have just ignored it.
Yeah.
Like, why do you look different? Don't.
It could just be like a subspecies. Yeah. Why do humans look different? Because you get 3 different kinds here. Like a human, like a really basic.
Why were there 3 different kinds? Chinese, white, and black.
Yeah, I think
not being racist.
Yeah. Well, no, essentially, I think the 3 broad sort of types of human species is like Caucasian, Mongoloid, Negroid.
Don't say Mongoloid.
I think that's what it is. That's what it's called. But they all got very distinct sort of looks between them.
Yeah.
Explained it in like a similar way. It could have been.
Is that like on Predators, where there's 2 different kinds of predators?
Could be, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what the third one looks like.
Yeah.
Have you seen Predators?
I think I've seen. Is there Predators 2, or is it Predator and then there's
Predators? Predators 2, and then there were Predators, which come out recently with Adrian Brody.
I think that's the one I've seen. Is he
new one?
Is he the young guy, Adrian Brody?
Yeah. And there's big Predators, and then there's like the little Predators.
Yeah, they were like...
Where the fuck did the big ones come from?
Yeah.
Why aren't the big ones on Earth?
There's probably some...
Well, I suppose that leads us onto our next topic about alien visits to Earth.
Yeah. This is the thing, I think... You see a lot of it on telly.
Yeah.
You see a lot of... aside from like films, you see a lot of like documentaries showing... And a lot of it could very just, similar things that we've discussed previously.
Like when we're talking about ghosts.
Yeah. Just talking about how easy it is to manipulate
the human
video.
side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking like how easy it is to manipulate footage, and then again, like you're just saying about human psyche, how we interpret really simple things.
Yeah.
That we see.
I think when people can see things as well that were really simple at the time, but then as they think back to it, in their head they exaggerate and can blow it out of proportion and make it something that it weren't.
Yeah.
Which leads us to aliens. I mean, do you think they've been visiting us like Area 51? Do you think that was real? Or?
The suggestion seems to be that they have had some contact with humans on this planet. That seems to be the suggestion. It seems to be you seem to hear a lot about what famous people who've been to space have got to say. You tend to hear a lot about people who work in certain parts of various governments and what they've got to say.
Yeah.
A lot of reports that have been classified up until very recently. That this is like both like American and in the UK. A lot of reports that seem to suggest
from
that
the Mongoloid and the
that seem to suggest that there has been a lot of contact from these aliens or from some sort of extraterrestrial intelligence with humans. I think we're only just starting to see. I think we're only just starting to get like the tip of that really as well.
I wish they'd let us know. I think it'd be really interesting.
I think the suggestion seems to be that there's people out there who know for definite and have got definite proof that this is the case.
Why won't they let everyone know though?
How wouldn't they let everyone know? What's the big? If say these UFOs that are like videoed fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Are actually extraterrestrials. One, why aren't they making themselves, if they want to be made known?
Yeah, why are they only talking to the president?
Yeah, why are they only talking to just like certain people or
and the Russians?
But it is an interesting question.
I mean, my original thoughts were like maybe something originally happened in Area 51, like in Roswell in 1955.
Yeah.
And then one person's imagination let him exaggerate that, and then because we're coming into this. 60 years later? Just in the 60 years after it happened?
Yeah.
And in that time, I think it's easy for one person to get carried away and then like 10 people to run with it and then 10 more people to run with that until it gets to the point where we are now where there's like X-Files and that. I think that will influence us a lot as well.
Yeah. And I think as well, people would like to believe that it's true. I think sometimes people want
it's interesting,
to believe that there's something else out there, more to what they see in everyday life.
Yeah, definitely.
I think just talk about do they exist and have they been in contact. I think the thing with the Area 51 was like it goes back to like the Roswell thing, doesn't it? Where allegedly they found this alien spacecraft, dead bodies, query and alive alien body taken to Area 51. If there was a place on Earth where you'd take it, might probably be Area 51.
Yeah, but
it's quite famous.
It's such a highly guarded place, isn't it?
That's the thing. Yeah, you would take it there. I mean, certainly there's a lot of experimental sort of things going on. That's obvious. I mean,
it might just be experimental.
Yeah. Something I'm thinking about that I've seen recently was this. It was a photograph taken from space of the planet.
Yeah.
And it showed like various cloud formations. And this picture, I can't remember where I saw it from. But I'll try and get a picture. Yeah. It basically showed. When you see airplanes like zip through clouds in the sky, they leave that trail.
Yeah, contrails.
Contrails, yeah. It was basically a giant contrail spreading from where Area 51 is located in New Mexico into sort of like Russian territories.
Yeah.
And apparently this would like it's sort of like really high speed sort of craft or something similar.
Yeah.
So obviously something's going off there that's quite unusual.
Yeah. Well, if you can find that picture, we'll put it in the description.
I definitely saw it on this program I watched, so I'm sure I'll be able to find it.
It's crackers, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like, there's a film out recently called Apollo 18. Did you see it?
I didn't see that. No.
I'll briefly explain without spoiling it. It's one of them. I don't know if I can really do that though. We'll give you a spoiler alert anyway for Apollo 18. The spoiler is it's not very good, so don't bother. But further than that, they send a top secret mission to the moon, Apollo 18, to gather moon rocks. But when they get there, it's all like, oh, why is it all top secret and this? And shit starts going wrong, they find a Russian cosmonaut, like his lander, and he was on his own. And then they find out that the moon rocks are actually aliens.
Right.
And they start attacking him and that. Anyway, I saw that and I was talking to someone at work about it. And he said it was real. That's the reason I bring it up. He started saying that it was real, it was based on real events, or it was actually a real film, like it was a documentary. And I couldn't believe that. And then I think he backtracked and started saying that some of the footage was real. Like there's actual real footage out there of like rocks moving on the moon. But like I think the website they watched this footage on was the website for the film.
Right.
So it's not really real. It's just like promotional stuff.
Yeah, this is
people are idiots.
I saw this. Essentially, I saw this in something similar recently. Fourth Kind. Did you see that, Mila Jovovich?
I did not see
that. This was another film about aliens, about alien abduction, about it being real, and the film touts that it uses real footage, and nowhere. I mean, the real footage is just insane. There's no way in hell it's real footage. And yet they're saying that it's real footage. Yeah. But how can they get away with that? This, in my mind, it's like, well, I want to believe it's real. They're saying it's real.
Yeah.
How can they get away with saying it's real? You've got people levitating above the beds, being possessed by these alien intelligences and speaking in this, I think it was like Sumerian language or something.
Mongoloid language.
Mongoloid language, yeah. From this Sumerian sort of language. But they're saying this is real footage. I'm Mila Jovovich. What you're about to see right now is real. How do they get away with that? How do they get away with saying that it's real footage?
I'd say
legally.
I don't know what laws apply to it, but you know The Usual Suspects. When they brought that out, Bryan Singer said, I think he put it on the film as well, based on a true story, just to get people excited. It wasn't basically, it was completely fabricated. It was fictional. It's it was a fictional film, but he said they were based on a true story just to get people a bit more excited about that. This has really happened. Yeah,
that's the thing. You're saying based on a true story.
How can it be based on a true story? It gets away at the end.
Yeah.
How would they know that if he's unless they caught him after the fact?
Yeah, and just going back to various other films, to do with paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
It's not true story. It could be something really vague.
Yeah.
And then you could just exploit that and just make it something.
Take that one little true event and blow it up.
But the thing with this film was they were saying specifically, you're going to see some things in this film, evidence of alien abduction. It's real. The actual footage you will see is real. Legally, how do they get away with that? Because there's no way that it will be real.
I don't know how they get away with it. Yeah, it is weird. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate that because I just find it so unusual that they can get away with saying things like that.
Now, what's it called?
Fourth Kind.
I'm just on IMDb. I'll have a quick look. Fourth Kind.
This is it, 2009.
You got 5.9, which is
out of 10.
Yeah, but that's decent.
Average,
it is. That's all right. It's better than what I was thinking. So it is a thriller involving an ongoing unsolved mystery in Alaska, where one town has seen an extraordinary number of unexplained disappearances during the past 40 years, and there are accusations of a federal cover-up.
And apparently that is true. Apparently that is something that's real.
Let's look on trivia. That's the best place. And I'll just search for true. Well, there's not that much actually. Aliens are never actually depicted at any point during the movie.
The scene is
pointless. That's a spoiler, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm on IMDb and that's in the spoiler section. Despite its plot involving alien abductions, aliens are never actually depicted at any point in the movie.
And there's this one scene where you see silhouettes of human.
It says here the movie's hoaxed interviews have angered fans and families of real missing persons in our so it's not real, but it's just pissed a lot of real people off by pretending to be real.
Insensitive to family members. So he's describing them as hoaxed interviews.
Yeah.
But in the film it's saying this is real.
Oh, it says here IMDb frequently asked questions. Is the movie actually based on a true story? Let's click it. What's it say? No. It'd be funny. It says no, and then there's a fair bit of description after it explaining it. But I think it'd be really funny if it said, "Is this movie based on a true story?"
Yeah.
And the answer was just no.
That's
all you need.
Yeah, but in the film, they're sort of saying that this is real. This is all actually happening.
Well, they're lying to you, Liam.
But how did they get away with it, though?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Creative license, innit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll bring this up now. I don't think there's been any good alien films recently. Like for a while since I'd say Independence Day. I can't really think of one that's been.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Oh, District 9.
District 9 were.
District 9 were really good. I mean, a lot of people don't like it, though, but I thought that were really good. But that was from a different point of view. It weren't like aliens. It weren't an alien invasion. It weren't people finding aliens on another planet. It was just them chilling out on Earth, weren't it? Because they were stuck here. I thought that were good. But there's not many recent, because they all tend to be the same, like horror films where aliens are attacking us. Like recently, Battle for LA or Battle for Los Angeles, alien invasion.
Yeah,
Skyline, alien invasion. War of the Worlds, alien invasion. Yeah, all the same.
Yeah,
need something more creative. I think there are a lot of good films with aliens in them.
Yeah,
like Star Wars, for example. I think they're really good. I don't know if the aliens are like they're not really the main point of it.
Yeah,
but I think one of the best films, or one of my favourite ever films, is Alien the film and Aliens.
Right. Yeah,
I think they're both really good for like different reasons. I think the first one's probably one of a really good horror film, a really good thrilling thriller film. Yeah. Whereas the second one's a lot more really good blockbuster action. It's like James Cameron just coming along and going, right, I'll take that and I'm going to make it really entertaining. I really like Aliens because I think there's a lot that goes on in it. Yeah. And
we were talking about Predators earlier. Like, there's a lot of crossover between the Aliens universe and the Predators universe, isn't it? There's now like they exist in side by side. Almost, isn't it? What happened with that?
I know that in Predator 2, it was the same people that did the special effects for Alien and maybe Aliens as did the special effects for Predator and Predator 2. That was like Stan Winston, is that his name? I
don't know, I'm not sure.
I'll just check now as I explain. I think it was Stan Winston, but it was the same company. Stan Winston. Yeah, Stan Winston. That did the special effects for it, and they thought it'd be funny in Predator 2 to put an alien skull in with it. There's a Predator trophy room in it, and they've got loads of skulls, and they thought it'd be funny to stick an alien skull in there. And that's sort of where it really, like, where it kicked off. But before that, there was a comic, Alien vs Predator, anyway, made by, I think it was DC. I can't remember. It might have been it could have been anyone. Don't quote me on any of that. But they did a comic, and it was Alien vs Predator. From there, it like kind of escalated because you had your comics, and then they were waiting for an Alien vs Predator films for ages, and we got it was shit, and then they had another go, and it were rubbish again. But I think I've got the comics upstairs, and some of them are quite good. There's a lot of rubbish ones.
I did enjoy, what was it, Requiem. And I don't think I've seen any of the second one. Alien vs Requiem was a really good film, I thought.
I thought it were better than the first one, because it was more like, it should be like the first one, Alien vs Predator, were just too toned down for me. It was like too PG, and there weren't a lot went on.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking like, you described that one as too PG. Requiem for me.
It were all at top.
It was like, when it starts off with that little kid getting that face hugger.
Everyone getting fucked up in that one.
The scene with the pregnant women as well. I thought that were really over the top. Quite
I think they just made it to be over the top.
Yeah,
it were all right though. I mean, I don't think a lot of people understood about Alien vs Predator Requiem was a lower budget film.
No.
Whereas Alien vs Predator had a huge budget. I think Requiem was a better film. Just because more entertaining. Like Alien vs Predator, just a bit boring. Didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Predators is alright. I was a bit disappointed with that as well. I think Alien 1, Aliens, and maybe Alien 3 are good. And then just went downhill. And Predator is like one of the best action films.
Yeah,
He's brilliant.
Really good.
And then I always, when I'm talking to people about Predator, I always like ask them if they can imagine what it'd be like to watch that film for the first time, like in 1986 when it first came out.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what the trailers were like for it, but imagine you've not seen any trailers for that film and you're like, I want to go see this Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, like, just this action film, and I want to see what happens. And they're running around in the jungle and you think, oh, it's brilliant, they're taking down some drug lords or whatever, and they're getting this guy back, and, oh, it's all kicking off, it's all a bit like, because it does lead you like that, doesn't it? Oh, he's betrayed us, there's something going on here, there's something going on behind the scenes, why are they here? And then an alien fucking appears.
Yeah.
So that's fucking everyone up. I thought, like, if you're watching that for the first time, how amazing that'd be. It just comes out of nowhere when you watch it. But, I mean, when I first watched it, I knew it was about an alien, so you don't see it. But watching it again and, like, trying to imagine it from that point of view, it does really come from nowhere, that alien. It was going to be Van Damme originally, weren't it, baby?
Was it? I didn't know.
Yeah, but they changed the alien design.
Right.
They said it was because it was a rubbish bath. It's because they changed the design of the alien.
Yeah.
And they needed someone bigger.
Yes, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
I enjoy Predators.